So the other day I was stuck in traffic and I noticed this face mask in a shop. And thought that looks interesting, so decided to take a closer look. Found that it was an anti-fogging face mask for people who wear glasses like myself. It says anti-foaming on the box for some reason. So decided to make the purchase for the princely sum of £7. Took it home, worked a treat. But it was a little bit boring, so I decided to add a few of my own mods, and I'll talk you through what I did. So I've basically used the same concept and components that I used for my interactive lanyard project. I'll link that video in the description below, with the addition of a couple of mods. So first one being, I have reduced the intensity of the LEDs, and that's allowed me to run off a single AA battery as opposed to a 5-volt battery pack. And I've also changed the formation of the LEDs when speaking to a more sort of alien type effect. I'll demonstrate that in a minute. And of course it's an all-in-one product, so glasses have now been integrated. So let me show you how this works in practice. So I've got a strap on the back to keep things nice and taut. Let me switch the lights off so you can get a better effect of the LEDs in operation. So the great thing about this project is, as well as stopping your glasses from fogging, you can also enjoy your favorite beverage and remain protected. So in case you would also like to build your own version of this, I'm going to show you a quick step-by-step. So to begin with, you're going to need to create a paper template of the 8x8 matrix, and you can do this simply by taking a rubbing, using a piece of paper and a crayon. When cutting out your template, make sure you leave a couple of centimeters either side. You'll see why you need to do this in a moment. So fold your template in half, making sure it's completely symmetrical. You want to align that fold with the center crease of the mask, and using a couple of strips of tape, stick down nice and firmly. You're now ready to start drilling your holes. Now I'm using a 2mm drill bit, but depending on how discreet or conspicuous you want your LEDs to shine, you can choose either a smaller or larger drill bit. Next, you're going to need to drill a hole in the triangular piece on the nose section of the face mask. I'm using a 4mm drill bit. Just make sure that the hole is large enough to accommodate the battery lead and a cable tie. You can now thread the battery lead through this hole. So this next step is optional, so I'm drilling a hole in one of the arms because that allows me to run the power lead on the outside of the arm for a more comfortable fit. but as I said, this is completely optional. So you can now see how the wire is run along the arm. Now I'm using heat shrink to keep things nice and tidy, but as an alternative you can use insulation tape. So the battery pack that I'm using comes attached with a micro USB lead, so we're going to modify that so that it will now run off a standard 3.5mm DC barrel jack. So just desolder the positive and negative terminals of the micro USB. So we'll be replacing that micro USB connector with a female DC jack. So just remove the grommet from the top of the cap and drill a 7mm hole to accommodate the plug. So once you're happy that the DC plug fits nice and snugly, you're good to solder the positive and negative terminals onto the circuit board. Just make sure you get the polarity the right way round, and you're now good to screw the cap back into the battery pack. And as you can see, I've used a couple of cable ties to attach the battery pack to the arm. You can now solder a male jack to the battery lead. Make sure you insulate the joins. I'm using heat shrink, but if you haven't got that, you can also use insulation tape. And we are almost done. So just for belt and braces sake, I'm going to add another sleeve of heat shrink over that join. This will definitely add to the robustness. So let me show you everything working. So no LEDs on at the moment. Plug in and you can see the LEDs flashing away there. Let me show you how I secured my glasses to the frame. So this mask is designed to wear over your glasses, but if you want to attach your glasses to the frame, you obviously remove the arms of your glasses, and then using the same hole that you used to thread the battery lead through, you use that to attach a cable tie and then secure that around the frames of your glasses, and that holds everything into place. So I hope you enjoyed, and to end with, here's a 360 of the finished product. Any questions, please leave in the comments below, and don't forget, for a full how-to, please see my interactive lanyard video, which I will link in the description below. Stay safe.